Okay, so you want to get smart right and fast. Well, we get that. That's kind of our thing, too.
Yeah.
So today we're diving deep into this really fascinating document. It's all about this thing called SCP-003.
And yeah, this isn't just any old object. For you, it's actually two interconnected pieces with some really, really unusual properties.
Exactly. So for you today, our source material, it's this collection of these super detailed notes and incident reports, all about SCP-003. I mean, it's got everything, like from these strict rules they have just to keep you contained to these seriously creepy events that happen when, someone messed up and didn't follow the rules exactly. So what we're going to do for you today in this deep dive is pull out the most crucial mind-bending parts, like what SCP-003 actually is. What's it capable of, and why everyone's so freaked out about making sure it never, ever gets out. Okay, so let's unpack all this, starting with, well, the two main parts.
All right, so SCP-003-1. All right, and this is where it gets a little sci-fi for you. It's made up of chitin, hair, and nails. Okay, so all biological stuff, but from a completely unknown origin. Chitin, for you, it's that, that tough but kind of see-through material, like what makes up insect exoskeletons. So you got that.
Right.
Combined with hair and nails from who knows what, right? So already pretty weird, right? But here's what's wild. It's configured just like a computer motherboard, but it dates back thousands of years, like way before we had any idea what a circuit board even was. I mean, for you, think about it. It totally upends what we think we know about tech, maybe even biology itself. And get this. They think it might actually be sentient.
Thousands of years old.
Huh.
Possibly aware. I mean, for you, that messes with your head, right?
Yeah.
Like when you think about how tech developed, right? And then there's SCP-003 too. So they describe this as it's this stone tablet covered in these glowing runes, but nobody knows what they mean, like what language it is.
Right. And the tablet, it's not just sitting there, it's not just a holder for SCP-0031 or something. No. For you, this thing, it has a non-biological computer inside it. Like it's built in. And get this, it can emit like all kinds of radiation, heat, light, you name it. Oh, and another thing, it has its own power source inside. But it looks like it's failing.
So these two things, for you, they're like totally linked. SCP-00031, it sits right on top of SCP-00032. And they're thinking that the tablet, it was actually made for the sole purpose of containing or like controlling the motherboard thingy.
Yeah, that's the working theory at least. And some of the data they've managed to sort of translate from SCP-003 to 2, it hints at this event, this LK class restructuring event, and they think SCP-0031 might be what triggers it. For you, what that means potentially is that reality as we know it could be, like, completely reshaped.
Okay, that definitely raises the stakes for you just a bit. So how do you even contain something like that? That sounds crazy hard.
The containment procedures are super specific and honestly kind of intense. It all boils down to temperature. So SCP-003 has got to be kept at least at 35 degrees Celsius, but ideally way hotter, like above 100 degrees Celsius. Now, the big danger here for you is that if SCP-0031 gets colder than that, it starts growing. Like really fast.
And we're not talking about it like, expanding a little bit here. This is like exponential growth. I mean, what does that even look like for you?
All right, so stage 1 growth. SCP-0031's mass, it just explodes. And the shape it takes, it kind of looks like a brittle star, like those starfish things. Gets to be about 15 meters across. And it's got this central core, like a processor, about 3 meters wide. Now, while it's doing this, it starts converting everything around it, inorganic materials, dead organic stuff, turns it all into this, well, we don't even know what it is. It's just anomalous. Oh, and interesting thing for you, SCP-0032, it doesn't get converted. It's like immune.
Hold on. So it's a 15-meter wide biocomputer that eats everything in sight. That's kind of terrifying for you to imagine, right? And there's a second stage to all this.
Yeah. Stage 2 kicks in when SCP-003-1 touches, like actually makes contact with living organic material. Then it seems to copy it, like it creates a template based on that material, and it even tries to communicate with organisms that, match that template.
Communicate. How does a giant alien brittle star, motherboard thing, how does it communicate, with living things? For you, how does that even work?
Well, it gets pretty bizarre, and we'll get into more detail about that later for you. But here's the thing. During stage 2, while it's busy, figuring out those living organisms, its growth, it actually slows down a lot. like
Yeah.
20 to 90% slower. Seems like it's using a lot of processing power just to understand whatever it's touching. It keeps converting other materials, though, but it changes them, too. Like, it makes their physical structure match the living thing it's using as a template.
So SCP-0032, it's not just to stand, right?
Right.
Like, it actively tries to stop this whole uncontrolled growth thing.
Exactly. When SCP-0031 goes into a growth phase, SCP-0032 starts emitting these bursts of radiation. Think of it like energy pulses for you. And those pulses, they can stop, even reverse SCP-0031's growth, especially if the temperature is up above 100 degrees Celsius. It's like a built-in defense mechanism, you know?
But what if the power goes out completely, like total failure, and the temperature drops, to that dangerous level? For you, that's going to be a nightmare scenario, right?
And the procedures, they mentioned something about like skin contact.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy risky.
Oh, it is. If the power goes out and SCP-0031 starts growing, they have this last resort kind of thing. Personnel are instructed to get this, make skin contact with it. The idea is for you to use their body heat to try and warm it up. But even if they get the temperature back up, they got to stay touching it until it enters that second growth stage, the one where it, focuses on living things and chills out a little on the growth. That's a huge risk for anyone involved. You're basically offering yourself up to this thing.
You got it. And because of that, the rules for anyone going near the containment area, they're intense. Like, they check them for anything, any body parasites, they call them, of category 40 or higher complexity.
Yeah.
And if they find anything, boom, sterilization. And anyone who actually touches SCP-0031, same thing, sterilization right away. It's, well, for you, who knows what kind of biological contamination something like that could cause, right?
So how do we even find SCP-003 in the first place? For you, it almost sounds like it wanted to be found.
That's a good point. So they found it with a remote viewing team. And the document, it specifically says that it's possible, maybe even likely, that SCP-0032 actually reached out to them. For you, that opens up a whole can of worms, right? Like, what were its motives?
And we weren't the only ones who might have found it, right? Like,
Yeah.
other groups could have run into it, too.
That's what the reports say, yeah. There could be other organizations out there who know about SCP-003. Maybe they found it the same way, For you, think about it. It's like, this thing it's broadcasting its existence somehow.
But even with all that, they still don't think SCP-0032 is, like, truly sentient, do they? It's just running on some ancient program, right?
Yeah, as of now, that's the assessment. I mean, it seems like it contacted us, but it doesn't, react to anything we do, to analysis or how we're containing it. Not in a way that says it's, conscious. It's like it's an incredibly advanced ancient machine for sure, but not aware. At least that's what we know right now.
So the document, it mentions these other SCP objects, right?
Mm-hmm.
SCP-RS, SCP-1512, SCP-2756. Are those, clues, to help us figure out what SCP-0031 really is?
Yeah. Well, they've definitely found some similarities, but here's the thing, and this is interesting for you. Two of those, SCP-1512 and SCP-2756, they have zero confirmed connection to SCP-0031, not even to each other. And the kicker is, none of them are fully understood either. For you, what that means is SCP-0003-biology, it's a total mystery. And the fact that it looks like modern tech, it's either a huge coincidence or something so complex we don't have the tools to even grasp it. It's not just one thing, one phenomenon we can easily define.
That's like, finding a roaming gear mechanism.
Yeah.
Like, perfectly crafted, right?
Right.
But in the middle of the Amazon. For you, totally out of place, right? And we have no clue how it got there or what it was for. Okay, let's talk about what happened. Because containing SCP-003, it hasn't exactly been smooth sailing, has it?
No, not at all. Addendum 000301, that's a big one. They did a linguistic analysis, and they found this unexpected link between SCP-003 and, data expunged. Now, for you, because of that, they had to reclassify SCP-003-1. They said, yep, it's definitely sentient, and from then on, it had to be kept at least 1 kilometer away from, data expunged and its byproduct, whatever that is. That discovery, it changed everything about how they saw SCP-0031.
Sentient.
Yeah.
And connected to something so top secret we can't even mention it.
Yeah.
Okay, for you, that's kind of unsettling, right? And then you've got those incidents where SCP-003-1 started growing like crazy.
Yeah. Addendum 003, 03, 04, they go into all that. So it seems the research team, they were called MO3 Gloria, they did some stuff that, without realizing it, made the power loss in SCP-0032 worse. And that triggered these huge jumps in SCP-0031's mass. And then when they tried to, raise the temperature SCP-00332, it went nuts. Started throwing out these radiation spikes, which, they kind of forced SCP-0031 back to normal. For a bit, at least.
And then the weirdest part, right? The new growth, it dissolved. Poof, gone, turned into dust. And then both SCP-0031 and SCP-0032, they shut down, like completely.
It's true. Everything went quiet, no activity, nothing. And SCP-0032, it only came back online when they hooked it up to an external power source. And even then, for you, it was strange. Its runes, they just glowed gray for hours before going back to normal. I mean, it was like it was rebooting or something. That whole incident, for you, it shows just how connected the two parts of SCP-003 are and how much it relies on SCP-0032 to function.
But that's not the end of it, is it?
Yeah.
I mean, they tried to repeat the procedure, right? And that's when things got even weirder, even scarier.
You're telling me. So Addendum 003-4, this is where it gets really intense. SCP-0031, its mass, it quadruples, like 4 times bigger. And it forms an outer shell, an actual body, and then it breaks out of containment, gets into the observation gallery, where the researchers were. Now, when it touched them, it grew these appendages really fast and wrapped around him, and then it just stopped growing for 15 minutes. 15 minutes for you, stuck like that.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Held by this alien thingy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for you, just try to imagine that. But it gets even crazier, right? It changed shape.
It did. SCP-0031, it started rearranging itself. Turned into, get this, a female humanoid, like 3 meters tall. And then these tentacles, they came out of its what looked like hair in its spine, and it started making these sounds, like it was trying to talk to them. For you, that right there tells you this thing, it's not just reacting, it's adapting, maybe even planning.
A humanoid form. I mean, for you, that is a huge jump from a starfish blob thing.
Yeah.
And talking, like actual communication, what'd it say?
We know some of it from Incident Report A21B. Dr. Moose, she wrote the main account, and she described it as, it was like she was hearing SCP-0031's voice in her head. Called it a half language, like they couldn't really understand it. And some of the researchers, they passed out right there when it did that. For you, imagine trying to understand someone talking, but it's like every other word is missing, the grammar's all messed up. It's like this broken code trying to get a message across.
And for the ones who stayed conscious, it wasn't exactly a friendly chat, was it? Like there were reports of memories being replayed and even some researchers being like taken apart and put back together.
It happened, yeah. Dr. Moose, she said that SCP-0031, it didn't get human emotions, like the idea of pain. It was totally foreign to it. But she was adamant that even though it didn't mean any harm, containing SCP-003 was non-negotiable.
Because she thought it wants to like remake the world, right? Like to build its own version of paradise. For you, that's wild, right?
That's what she believed, yeah. A paradise, but through its own alien eyes. And it wasn't necessarily just for humans, maybe for any complex enough organism, right? Like a pet, even a bug. For you, that's a chilling thought. The world, reshaped based on something totally not human.
And the sensory experience it showed them. For you, it wasn't images, it wasn't sounds, it was something else entirely, right?
Yeah. Dr. Moose, she said it was these bright, complex sensations, and there were these metallic sounds, too, like nothing a human could describe. But the main takeaway, it was like SCP-0031, was it was studying them. It was looking into their minds, seeing what they understood so it could understand them. It was a form of analysis, but for you, on a whole other level, like a direct probe into consciousness.
And we still have no idea what would happen if it had, finished this little analysis.
Yeah.
For you, that's a big, scary question mark. But physically, the researchers, they were okay. Right?
Yeah, physically, they were fine. No lasting injuries, nothing like that. But mentally, the M03 Gloria team, they were messed up. And the materials they got from the containment area, well, it's still analyzing those. The fallout from that incident, it was huge. They kicked one of the Overseer Council members out, and they shut down all the M03 Gloria procedures indefinitely. For you, that should tell you something, right? That messing with SCP-003, it's unpredictable and incredibly dangerous.
So let's recap for you, for anyone just joining us. We're talking about this thing is SCP-003. It's potentially sentient, ancient as heck, basically a living computer that can grow exponentially, change matter into something else, and even turn into a humanoid form. And it seems like it was trying to talk to us. And it's all being kept in check by this failing, rune-covered stone tablet that blasts out radiation. And from what we've seen, it's pretty clear this SCP-003, it wants to, reshape the world.
Yeah.
But based on what it thinks is best, right? For you, does that sum it up okay?
I'd say that's a great summary of the core details, yeah. We've covered its age, the possibility it reached out to us on purpose, its crazy transformations, and that look into its alien mind, right?
It's definitely one of those moments where you go, whoa. Like there's so much we don't know about the universe,
Mhm.
right? And all this weird stuff is just out there, just beyond what we normally see. Hopefully this deep dive, for you, it's given you a good grasp on this topic. It's complex, but we tried to keep it clear, right?
We did. By focusing on the most important parts, the timeline of events, for you, it's like you can start to piece together the puzzle of SCP-003 and really get why it's such a big deal that it exists and that it's contained.
So one last thing for you to think about. SCP-0031's idea of paradise is so alien to us, right? It's based on senses and ways of understanding that we can't comprehend. So for you, what does that tell us about how limited our own human view of utopia really is? And if it ever offered us this alien paradise, how would our emotions or our understanding, the very things SCP-03-1 doesn't seem to get, how would those things shape our reaction? What could this encounter teach you about the differences between, well, different kinds of consciousness out there in the universe,